I meant the juicy section, right?
Yeah.
Well, really anyhow one, you know. Okay. Well, yeah. Welcome once again to the Unfiltered podcast, where pathological truth-seeking is the aim and comedy and laughter always the game. I'm here joined on the sofa once again with one of my good comedic friends, Dan Raj.
Hello.
Also, NS Young.
Hello.
And of course, my name is Jerry. We've got a good show for you today. And we're going to start off with the first topic of the Singapore presidential elections. And what happens is, before the actual result, you get like a forecast. You get like a poll or where people think the results might come in. And was it a few hours before the actual verdict, it was polled at about 70%.
Yeah, sample count.
Sample count.
Sample count for the candidate called THARMAN. And people were still holding out that he may not win. But the end result, he did come in by 70%. And did you guys hold on any hope for the other guys?
I don't know. I was overseas at that time. So
Anyhow, you didn't vote.
I didn't vote. But to be honest,
is that allowed? Can you, if you're abroad, you're allowed to not vote?
you are allowed not to vote, but after you're back, the elections department will probably take a few weeks to sort out who didn't vote, and they will send a notice to you to say that you have to go, if you want to reinstate yourself in the electors, register, online, and provide the reason why you are not voting. And there's only a few reasons they'll accept, like if you're overseas for work, for holidays, if you're hospitalized.
So you mean if you don't vote, you will be permanently taken out of the...
Yeah, if you don't reinstate yourself or you don't give a good reason for that.
Yeah, but I thought it's a crime or something like that.
It is a crime because you'll be fined like a very nominal $50.
Is it?
If the first time if you don't give a good enough reason, or you don't even bother to give a reason.
Yeah, you see, voting in the West is not compulsory, but I think maybe it should be.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a small country like us, if you imagine it's like 50% of people who don't bother to vote. I think in the West, there are like turnout of like only 50 or 60% sometimes for votes, right? So you have to vote. But in any case, for the presidential election for Singapore, I never bothered because I know who's going to win. Right? I mean, the other two, to be honest, like my foreign friends say, the other two are just jokes. Yeah, because they will not be able to believe that Singapore will have a president like the other two candidates other than THARMAN.
Why?
But Tan Kian Lai, that was the guy who came second, right?
No, Ng Kok Song came close second. I mean, Tan Kin Lin just lost to Ng Kok Song by 1 or 2%. Coming in third.
Okay, right.
I mean, even my friends from Indonesia or other countries will say that, hey, who's that guy who talk on social media about girls and Indians on the bus? I mean, they don't even know what has he done in his corporate life. You know, that he was a CEO of NTUC Income. But they only notice that all the things that he said on social media. So let's not discredit him for his so-called. He really wants to do well for Singapore. But even I also want the best for Singaporeans. But that doesn't mean I'll make a good president.
So what is a good president?
THARMAN. Just look at THARMAN, then you know what's a good president already.
Okay. So look, the presidential position in Singapore is kind of like a figurehead. What does a president in Singapore really do?
Okay, it is not actually figurehead, no?
Okay, how would you describe this?
Okay, because the title is given as the head of state.
Right.
So if you were to check the government of Singapore or Singapore constitution, the president's title comes first. So Singapore is a constitution with the head of state as the president.
I think that's because based on the alphabetical order, because PRE comes before PRI.
No.
President before Prime Minister. Right?
Okay. No, it's not that. It's just that to the world, it is seen as the president is the head of state.
Okay, would you say the Singapore president has any more duties than King Charles in the UK?
No. I think King Charles, at least they can claim that the royal family brought in tourism. I'm not so sure that THARMAN is going to bring in any tourist dollars.
You don't think anyone would like to meet THARMAN?
No,
A THARMAN tour.
I don't think that Istana is going to bring in any much tourist dollars compared to the Buckingham Palace.
Okay, but about one thing that's happened for this election, right? It suddenly got turned into a
circus.
Vote for an Indian guy kind of thing.
No lah, where got?
Yeah, this has happened before. You see, in the past, people wanted this THARMAN to become prime minister.
Yeah.
So they were actually having a petition to go around for people to sign to ask for THARMAN to become prime minister. And the title of the petition was, "We need an Indian prime minister." Okay.
Yeah, go on.
So this was turned into a racial thing, and I didn't sign the petition. Okay.
Why?
If they had said right, the petition for the more capable person to be prime minister, yeah, I would have signed it. But because it was turned into a racial thing, right?
Yeah.
You want an Indian prime minister, right?
Yeah.
Because in my honest opinion, whether the president or the prime minister is Indian, it is not going to benefit Indians in any way.
True.
Right? The Indians are not going to have any benefit having a prime minister who's Indian. There'll be more benefit if you have a fair prime minister who does his work properly, come up with proper policies.
Yeah.
That is more important for the Indians in Singapore than having an Indian prime minister or an Indian president for that matter.
So, according to what I know, that you actually thought that Tan Kin Lian will do a better job than THARMAN. Oh, this is the Hungry Ghost Festival recording.
No, bro. This is
This
universe saying that.
Oh,
Okay.
no, man.
Whatever you're saying now is going to get it cancelled. No.
No, so you actually thought that Tan Kin Lian will do a better job. Like what you mentioned, you said that a president should be able to do a fair
Okay, if I'm not mistaken,
job, right?
if I'm not mistaken, your vote is supposed to be secret, right? You don't tell anyone about your vote.
No, I was just assuming that you voted for Tan Kin Lian.
I could have.
Okay.
I might have.
Right.
Yeah.
He got less to the vote than Kok Siong.
Yeah, but he got more than his 2011 campaign, so he didn't lose his. I think not losing his deposit was a victory for him, lah.
Right.
No. Okay. So the thing is right about this Tan Kin Lian and THARMAN, right? So I was telling some Chinese girls to date Indian men, but I think they heard me wrongly. They thought I said vote for Indian men.
Were you trying to like have a joke or something?
I have to try, lah, bro.
No, but you just mentioned who made the petition that you all needed an Indian president.
I don't know who started it, but because it became a racial thing, right?
No, I think to be fair, back then when they make the petition, it's true that a lot of us feels that THARMAN really will make a good prime minister because his standing.
President.
No, even back then when we have the petition for the prime minister, right? We did think that, yeah, why not? Because he has a very good international standing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people internationally knows him. He talks well. He presents his points well. Even some of the opposition members like him, thinks well of him. So why not? So, but unfortunately, like you say, it becomes a racial thing because that people should be choosing THARMAN just because he's Indian. Then that becomes a
it's a racial thing. I think the race of the president or prime minister shouldn't matter at all. The most capable person should be the person in charge. It shouldn't be based on race. The moment we go down that route, we are in for big trouble already.
Yeah, look at America.
Yeah. So what we learn from other countries is like in the US,
Another
the black people.
Another thing I want to ask you, since you say about capability, I still don't understand why must, if you are not a politician that has been a key appointment holder, right? Why must you be someone who has led a company that's above 500 million?
Yeah.
No, how does that equate to, let's say, someone who is like George Goh, who did not qualify? How can we say that he's not qualified just because his company didn't reach $500 million equity? Of course, we know there have to be some criteria.
Right? I actually thought about this, right? So a person,
because you know it's important because I'm 46 this year. I was thinking once I reach 45, I want to run for president.
Yes.
But the 500 million, I don't think I can come even closer.
Actually, you can, later I'll teach you.
Okay.
Stand Up Cat C and The Fast and the Funniest is a monthly open mic blowout that's been happening since 2018. Taking place on the last Friday of each month, a cadre of hilariously cool comics take to the stage at the studios of the Association of Comic Artists Singapore in Goodman Arts Centre. So get your tickets at the link below and don't miss the next episode of Stand Up Cat C's Fast and the Funniest. Stand Up Cat C's Fast and the Funniest. Laugh much you will.
But the thing is, right, so a person, if you could compare a business person, a businessman like Josh Goh, okay, although he has multiple companies, whatever that is, if you compare him with a public service guy, okay, the public service guy didn't have to go through the kind of struggles that Josh Goh had to go through.
Yeah.
For example, right, one of the very important thing for a business owner, he goes through a lot of challenges, right? One of the challenges that there would be 1 or 2 months in his life that he could not have gotten any sleep.
Yeah.
Because the next day he has to pay his staff salary and there's no money in the bank account. This can happen to most businessmen would have at least gone through this once in their life. But a civil servant who goes through the civil route will have not this problem at all.
No. I partially agree with a person. It's better to have a business person in politics than just an ideologue.
A theory guy. A government employee in charge of a government department won't have this kind of problems because they have unlimited resources. Okay? So in this kind of a situation, right, if you run such an organization where the money is just,
See, a lot of people will bring this down to like say, your social policy is not meant to be hinged against money per se, but you have a budget. Everything comes down to the bottom line. And if a person has a strong appreciation of the bottom line, they're going to run the country better. But what you need is a cabinet of well-rounded people so you get all the best feedback. But ultimately, it's like if you ever start a company, so you got a company with 3 people, make sure that one of them is an accountant.
Very difficult, very complicated.
yeah. So no, that's what I'm saying. So the criteria to be president may not be fair because it may seem like it's not fair because the civil service guy don't have to have $500 million.
Actually, for president, it's not fair because the president is not in charge of the expenditure of the country. The prime minister is doing that in Singapore. So the president could be anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It could a person who didn't even finish high school should be able to run for president in the context of Singapore.
Actually, I think for president, as long as you are just well liked and well respected by people, both locally and internationally, I think that's it. Because I mean, my main problem is that I'm not respected locally and
I'm not respected in my own home.
Okay.
So
you're not even respected here. You're
not here, my own home.
Yeah, and I'm Singapore's first black president running a comic association. I also not respected.
Not respected, so it's very hard.
No, but okay, but although this $500,000 million maybe
$500,000 million, $500,000 million, that's like 500 billion or 500 trillion.
Okay, $500 million management thing may not be fair, but I think they have to set some standards. What do you think?
Yeah, the president has to have certain standards. Agreed?
I mean, of course, they have to have some standards. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching the Unfiltered podcast. Remember to hit that notification bell, subscribe, and most importantly, like, as that really helps our channel to grow. We'll see you again real soon.